Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ryan Pierce, and today I will be presenting the company called Acid Flame PC. Acid Flame PC is a company founded by Ryan Pierce, that is me. Basically, we are a high-end computer boutique company. We focus primarily on high-end computers, PCs for video gamers, and some we will be exploring the possibility of getting laptops as well as working with small business owners as well throughout Tucson, Arizona, and the state of Arizona. We are based in Tucson, Arizona, and we are, let's see here, essentially a high performance computer manufacturer. We're focusing primarily on the PC gaming spectrum, and we will be going into that momentarily. The launch, essentially, Acid Flame is founded by gamers, made for gamers, because we are gamers. That is our mission statement. We will sell. Ideally, we would like to sell 600 desktops through the year, and we are looking at $500,000 in revenue. We will be providing unique and excellent customer computer desktops, workstations, and laptops. Again, we're going to be starting off with desktops, and we will be working towards workstations for small companies and laptops down the road as well, likely after year 2 or 3 of proven operation. Manufacturer of high-end computers, of course, maintain supportive work environments for employees and important partnerships as well. To give, we will be starting off primarily with marketing about 6 primary designs. The lowest end one will be the barium, excuse me. That's going to be the budget computer. Then we have the lithium red, which is the enhanced gaming, which will carry up to 2 GPUs. The potassium lilacs, which will be ultimate performance and value. Keep in mind that the name Acid Flame is that if you're burning these elements, it would show that color. So the green would be the barium, the red would be lithium, and if you burn potassium, it's a lilac. Then once we go into the upper levels, the upper echelons, Devastator, Destroyer, and Annihilation, it starts to become more focused towards gaming, high-end gaming. So the Devastator is the enthusiast grade, max airflow and design. The Destroyer, small form factor, mostly smaller, thinner computers rather than the big, bulkier ones. Annihilation is the ultimate full tower. That's going to be a large beast. We're looking at potentially getting 10 to 15 to sometimes $20,000 per machine. So as you can imagine, it's going to be quite quite a hassle, quite a monster, if you will. Um, so the way that we're going to break down is similar to some of the other online carriers. With the desktops, we're going to have them we're going to have to set it up with 4 different tiers: good, better, best, and ultimate. And we will also allow the customers to have some ability to modify the the devices that they would like to get. So, for instance, if they start off with the barium green, that's $1,000. That is considered better. It starts off with a mid tower chassis with a mid range GPU, the Ryzen 5, and a mid range GeForce, which is the 1050 listed here, and 8 GB of DDR4 memory. 2 TB of storage as well, and the power supply goes up to 600. The notable difference is that there is a higher end, excuse me, a slightly better mid range GPU, and the video card is also a little bit stronger as well, opposed to the lower end good barium. And of course, the B35M motherboard. It's a smaller form factor motherboard, but it's designed specifically for budget in mind. But it does give you more than what the A320 motherboard is capable of pushing for you. And of course, with the Ultimate, it just goes up in class. You have the 2070 RTX and the i7 870, which is significantly faster than the AMD Ryzen, right? But customers know what they're going to be buying, so they will be buying it with a more premium, if you will. So this goes on for all of the tiers that we have: the Annihilation, The Annihilation, even at the highest setting, would be, we're looking at 10,000. And they can still upgrade from that part. This is just starting off, right? And the Annihilation would be primarily for video gaming. It could be considered a gaming computer, but it would be more so um, a higher end graphics making machine. Like you would use this to make video games or make high end architectural companies, firms like that. Um, Major major movie studios would want to use this as opposed to a regular machine. It can carry up to 28 processors. The RAM is out of control with 512 onboard RAM that you can add onto it, and it can carry up to 4 GPUs. It's designed specifically for it can be designed for gaming, but it's more of a workhorse for make architectural firms and graphic design studios, etc. But the workstations themselves would be more suited for mid-range computers, so they would still be a little bit costly, but the type of engineering required for it is just a little bit more specific to AutoCAD and computational tasks and content creation and design and rendering, of course. Now, we do have several other ones. The Tesla, we have several other models in mind for the workstations. The Tesla, the lowest end one starts at 1,600, and it goes up. And the highest one for the workstation models is $9,000, and that's the Vitruvius. And we also have the Archimedes. Now the laptops is pretty cool. We do intend on having laptops as well down the road. Once we start getting them in, we may have to start reselling them first, but once we start getting in-house funding, we'll be able to get expand into the laptop regions as well. But proven marketing research has shown that for our client base video gamers, they would mostly purchase desktop computers, though there are good laptop options as well. We're just not going to focus on that. I don't believe that's going to be the highest area of marketing opportunity here. Now, we do have a number of laptop options and add-ons: carry bags, cooling pads, extra chargers, extra batteries, virus protection, branded gear. This will all contribute to our success as laptops as well, and we will go into a list for the desktop accessories as well. Now the location, we are looking at initially starting it off at 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. Excuse me, a warehouse of 3,000 to 5,000. I've explored venues throughout Tucson, Arizona. There are pretty good venues, and one of the other reasons why we were looking at Tucson, Arizona, opposed to Phoenix, Arizona, or any city in the state of California, is because Tucson is, you can literally do the same thing for about a third, sometimes even an eighth of the price. I'm not even kidding you. You can look at the cost; it is out of control. You can get a small little warehouse for 200 or 300 grand, and the same size, same functioning role, right, in San Diego, LA, San Francisco, you're looking at maybe even $2 million. It's insane. Phoenix, same thing, 2 times the cost of what you would find here in Tucson, Arizona, right? We can rent it out, which is probably the best idea. But the only issue is when it comes to Tucson warehouses that there's going to be a large amount of dust and dirt as we are in the middle of the desert. But we will be adding systems to help filter the air and HEPA filters, etc., so we can get rid of the dust and all that good stuff. With our competition, we're looking at going head to head with Alienware, Origin PC, and Lenovo. Alienware and Origin are both high-end computers. They attract a huge margin of the computer gaming community. As Alienware was basically the one that was one of the first ones back in the 90s that got me into computer gaming. And then Origin, if you don't know, if you're not aware of this, before Alienware was bought out by Best Buy, a lot of the leadership started their own company. called Origin, and they're now based in Miami, Florida, and they're doing just as well as Alienware. I believe their profit margins is up to 80 million a year, so they're doing really well. Their numbers might have even increased. I haven't looked. Now Lenovo is more of a budget computer, but I think we will be competing against them if we were to explore the business aspect and the laptop as well. Now Lenovo does not give you the ability to modify parts. That's where we can go into and compete against the lower end companies. But it does have a great value for it, and at the same time, it's not designed specific for small business. Origin does have a small business department. Alienware does not. It's now owned by Best Buy, and so Best Buy has their own dealings with Dell, from my understanding. Now, marketing, we will be looking at the YouTube, magazine ads, esports sponsors, targeted advertising, Google AdWords, as well as social media. And let's see here. There's a lot of opportunity using all of them. So it's going to be, as an individual familiar with how with this industry, I know that magazine ads is going to be really popular. Tech magazines, those that are enthusiasts, they do read these type of things, and this is what they're into. Esports sponsors, this is the easiest way to get the biggest amount of clout, if you will, is because every video gamer, esport gamer, uses a high-end video game. So we can become a sponsor for one of these teams. That's free advertisement. People will see our cool logo, and they would want to get our cool computers as well. And of course, we can use YouTube. We can hire any of these individuals to basically review our computers, and we can just give them PCs so that they can review it for free. And basically, I mean, that's $20,000 for something that would otherwise be almost $1 million, to be honest with you. It works out. Again, I'm familiar with my culture, and that's how we do it. Now, marketing analysis. This was done through ISVB, and basically the marketing research shows that it is the growth is going up by 1.4% over the next 10 years. We're looking at going from 48 million to 57 million units from 2016 to 2026. Forecasts will continue to grow up to 4.5 million computers. This is computer and peripheral equipment, right? So although the amount of cells is staying the same, but all we're trying to do is capture 600 to 1,000 machines out of that 57 million market cap. So if we can capture just 1% of 1%, right, we would be well within our targeted goals. So that's basically the biggest target here for us to hit our target goals. Now, we will be licensing a large number of our equipment as well, with Microsoft, Intel, AMD, Asus, MSI, Corsair, Seagate, Toshiba, and Samsung, among a few others. And these are all major names that just about anybody familiar with computer technology, computer engineering, computer gaming, data science, etc., they're all familiar with these names. When they see it, we can become a trusted brand because we are working with major brands. Now, let's see here. We will eventually intend on developing and manufacturing and patenting our own technology, such as DDR RAM sticks, our own monitors. We will eventually manufacture our own desktop, just the shells, the cases, if you will, and we'll rebrand. We will use white glove services for those type of rebranding, drop shipping type of services. Now, Yep. So again, once AssetFlame reaches profitability in its second year of operation, the computer will use marketing strategies to contact multiple markets within the corporation environment. Basically, again, once we succeed at our numbers, we will start exploring contacting corporations and do the sales there. Uh, all of the figures that I've done, IBIS World, everything that all of the numbers that I'm showing, we're showing a strong growth, about 9 billion, if you will. Wow. So I apologize. That was 58. Okay, so I see what that happened. So in raw dollars, the number keeps growing up in the computer manufacturing industry. It was 10 billion, right? In 2016, 2018, 11 billion. So by the year 2022, it should be around 13 to 15 billion. Now right again, we're only trying to capture about 15 million of that, so that is 1% of the total market cap. Right now, to bring us to our intended targets. Now the demographic trends. Let's see here. It's looking like the most of these individuals that do play video games that can afford these computers is anywhere between 18 to 49. So, and this is the millennials and Gen X generation, and the Generation Z is also pretty heavy um, in video gaming as well. So we're looking. The only reason why the Gen Zs are struggling is because they can't afford higher end computers. But when you get a little bit older, what's happening is, and what we're finding is the millennials and Gen Zs can afford a little bit more money than their Gen Z counterparts. Most Gen Zs do tend to purchase PlayStation 5s and the Xboxes, which we will be, of course, up against. But but we're focused. Most of my target, most of the analysis is done against other computer manufacturing companies because because we're specific to computer gaming. Now, where we'll go to the marketing segmentation. Most of another reason why we're targeting individual clients for their home computers is because it is over 60% of the marketplace for computers for high-end computers is individual client. There are about 20% of corporate clients, right? However, they are a small percentage. It's more money for us if we focus on individual clients. Now, again, these are the marketing analysis. Is what our goal would be 1.4 million, which could go up pretty significantly by year 5. We're looking at hitting 4.5 million. Corporate clients, 80% growth. If we start off by 200,000 by year 4, we're looking at 1.4 million. But again, most of our targeted goals to hit the highest trends would be 1.4 million. And again, we have others as well, laptops, right? We're still looking at about the same 200 to 300k growth per year. Competition. Again, we're going to be going against competitors Lenovo, HP, Dell, Apple, Acer, Asus, Toshiba, IBM, and Gateway. We are fully aware what we're up against. Most of these computer manufacturers are general manufacturers. Right, so if an individual wants to get a higher end computer, they know they can go with us and they're going to get a higher quality product, more expensive and more powerful, is what we're looking at. Now, the strategy and implementation summary. AssetFlame markets and sales strategies will be based on partnership. We will partner with business organizations and government agencies. We will distribute our products to these organizations at an affordable rate. This is done with the aim of gaining recognition in the industry. Of course, we will be having sales associates talking to government agencies, talking to business organizations in order for them to close sales and create relationships as well. Let's see here. Sales forecast. Again, everything's looking like it's going to be a slow start, not going to lie. However, once we start gaining market recognition, the sales will grow. Once more people start to see our name, they'll notice it, and they'll be like, "Hey, it's AssetFlame. This is the one with the cool logo, if you will." Now, again, yearly forecast, monthly forecast. As long as we keep up marketing and we continue to gain new customers, we will continuously we will be in a continuous state of growth. Um, the real number, though, would be to keep in mind that most of our sales will be done within the holiday season. We will have downtime, or not downtime, but rather the slower seasons will be up to primarily the sales associates. But during month 9 and 10 of each year, that's when we will start ramping up our production and our sales teams to meet the holiday quota. It usually the turnaround time usually takes about a month or two, right, before we ship it out. We ship it out to the customer. Yep. Again, marketing strategy, right? Um, just to rehash everything, everything's going to be done. Magazines, newspaper, TV stations, Google AdWords, right? We will also do local expos, seminars, and business fairs as well to just continue to grow our and many venues. SWOT analysis, that's another big thing: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Uh, we have we're a young group, which is both our strength and weakness. We recognize the opportunity. We know a lot of businesses throughout Arizona. I've worked with people from Raytheon, the Border Patrol, the University of Arizona. The number of engineering and architectural firms throughout Tucson, Arizona is pretty large. We can tap into those groups and definitely get that opportunity in. The threat is that we're just the biggest threat to our company would be the smartphones and tablet technologies. The issue is that smartphones, everyone has a smartphone. It's easier to get a smartphone than it is to get a computer, which is unfortunate. But that might also be an opportunity for us to look into finance reasons, right? Now, but regardless of the strength of the smartphone technology, computers are showing a comeback, right? Management team, of course, the primarily it would be Ryan, would be the owner and the CEO. I studied business management at Colorado State Global Campus. I should be graduating next year, and I do run a few other companies as well. We do have an employee matrix from customer service all the way up to administration. We have a general manager that will be running this show and a site director as well. So everything's thought out. Financial summary: rent per year, we're looking at 400K. That would be over. If we had a budget of 1 million a year, rent per year would start at 400K. Rent per month, 33K. Websites, CRM, IT development, etc., 15K. Marketing, 40K. This number will likely go up. Supplies will be a quarter million. Insurance per month is about 100. Payroll, 250K. That would meet the lowest level of about 8 employees. Then company vehicle and retained earnings, right? That will go into the next year's budget. But with a starting budget of $1 million, I believe that we can get things up and running, right? Profit loss margins. These numbers are, again, if we can manage $800,000 in sales by year one, we would likely profit. Our net profit after expenses would be under 400K, but we should be good by year two. Know your city, what you. Sorry about that. Now, let's see here. We do have balance sheets that we would be using on an accrual basis, long-term liabilities, total liabilities. But if we can pro forma, these numbers could be in the millions within year 5. Now, key financial summaries. Basically, this is what we would use as a projected inventory list. We would have initial cost. If you look to the right, it's called total initial cost. If you scroll down, that cost would be $6,600. That would be the total inventory cost that I believe that I would need to get things started. Then what we would do, the market would be pretty straightforward. We would be able to buy once a customer puts an order in on the internet, or one of our sales associates closes a deal. right? What we can do is that we can then purchase those parts for us to build the machine. That whole process from the time that the customer puts in the cell and makes a purchase, to the customer finally getting the product, is about 2.5 to 3 months, sometimes 4 months if it is during the holiday season. We anticipate that we will get slammed during the holiday season, but it's the highest level of opportunity. And as you can see here, as I have proven, this is a foolproof plan. I think that we can all succeed here. And if I were to get the deal going, I can bring in about 15 million by year 5. Thank you.